Greetings, everybody. It's a pleasure to speak with you all today. David, thank you for having me on. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Karan Bindra. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified yoga instructor. And for years, I've been helping people achieve better alignment in their nervous system, in their muscular system, in their skeletal system through a variety of means, including yoga, yoga therapy, resistance training through resistance bands and weights, and then also bodywork therapy, also known as proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So what I wanted to share with you all today is a unique way that you can modify your training regimen at the gym to be more beneficial cardiovascularly and to also increase your metabolism. It's known as the Peripheral Heart Action Training System. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. To understand the significance and application of the Peripheral Heart Action Training System, we'll first start off by learning a little bit about the metabolic pathways that create ATP, or energy, in the body. Then we'll discuss the elements of proper breathing, posture, and peripheral heart action training so that we can create an optimal training regimen. Finally, we'll go over an example of a peripheral heart action training regimen so that you can try it next time you go to the gym. So let's begin by discussing three metabolic pathways of the body. The first is the ATP-PC system, which is able to provide energy for short durations of time from 10 to 15 seconds. Next is the glycolytic system, which is able to provide energy for 30 to 50 seconds. And finally, there's the oxidative system, which is able to provide energy for long periods of time. It's important to understand that all three systems are active at all times, but one may be more prevalent than the other based on what kind of activity you're doing and the kind of rest intervals you're taking. Let's say you're doing a high-intensity activity for a short period of time, for example, a deadlift. In this situation, the body would primarily be utilizing the ATP-PC system. This system is able to provide the body with immediate energy because it is the fastest and simplest way for the body to procure ATP. But because this system doesn't depend on larger stores of energy that come from carbohydrates and fats, it's only able to provide a limited amount of energy for a short period of time. So when performing an exercise of a longer duration and slightly less intensity, for example a 400-meter sprint, the body will switch over to the glycolytic system as its dominant energy system. Glycolysis is the body's preferred form of metabolism because it depends on carbohydrates, which are the body's preferred source of energy. This system produces more ATP or energy than the ATP-PC system and is able to provide energy from 30 to 50 seconds. Now let's say you're doing an exercise of a very long duration but not as high of an intensity, such as a marathon. In this situation, your body would be using oxidative metabolism as its primary source of energy. This form of metabolism is aerobic, which means that it depends on oxygen. It also uses carbs and fats as its primary substrates for creating ATP. As a result, aerobic or oxidative metabolism is able to create far more energy for longer periods of time. For example, we can see that without oxygen or using anaerobic glycolysis, the body can only create 1 unit of energy, whereas using oxygen or aerobic metabolism, the body is able to create as much as 129 units of energy. So oxidative metabolism definitely takes a trophy when it comes to providing the most energy for the longest period of time, as well as burning the most calories from fat. This is why we'll definitely use this system when designing our peripheral heart action training program. But before we do that, there's a few more things we have to cover regarding cardiovascular health. It's difficult to discuss cardiovascular health without also discussing the respiratory system. This is because both systems are deeply dependent on each other to move oxygen through the body and eliminate toxins from the body. Additionally, neither system is able to function at its highest efficiency without proper muscular and skeletal alignment. This is why good breathing habits, good posture, and a good balance between upper body and lower body exercises are all factors that we will take into consideration when designing a peripheral heart action training system regimen. As a quick refresher, when we breathe, we need to be using what's called diaphragmatic breathing. This means that as we inhale, our belly expands, and as we exhale, the navel goes back to the spine. By breathing in this fashion, we can guarantee the best results for exercise, as well as overall well-being. So now that we've briefly discussed metabolic systems of the body, as well as some things we can do to improve our cardiovascular health, let's dive into the exercise design plan. I'll be demonstrating each exercise with proper posture, so feel free to follow along. The Peripheral Heart Action Training Program is a program that alternates between upper body and lower body exercises. This is done to promote better circulation and to promote better postural stability and overall strength. This regimen will allow for break times of 60 seconds or less, but if you ever feel uncomfortable, feel free to rest longer. And as always, if you have any other complications like cardiovascular issues, dizziness, or if you might be pregnant, please consult with a doctor before attempting this regimen. So without further ado, let's begin the practice. We'll start by briefly warming up the body on the bike for about 5 to 10 minutes, after which we'll go into some dumbbell presses. Make sure to start off with lighter weights as we're just warming up. For this exercise, you can do anywhere from 15 to 20 repetitions. Make sure to do each repetition slowly and take a brief pause at the top and the bottom. From here, we're going to come into a step up to balance exercise where we're going to alternate balancing on each foot. We're going to do 20 repetitions on each side. Make sure here too that you're moving a little bit slower and you're watching your posture. And also make sure to take that brief pause once you've stepped up and are balancing on one foot. Next, we're going to do 20 push-ups. Make sure to move slowly and make sure to keep a good straight posture. Keep your abdomen tight, keep your glutes tight, and come all the way down. Next, we're going to do 20 squats. Here you can step up the pace just a little bit. Just make sure that you don't let your knees come in front of your toes. Try to keep your back as straight as possible and try to come down as low as possible. If it's hard for you to come down all the way, don't worry, just do your best. Over time, your mobility will get better. Next, we're going to do 20 stability ball push-ups. So this is just like the normal push-ups, except we're doing it on the ball. We're engaging the core a little bit more. If this exercise is too difficult, go ahead and do a plank posture. Next, we're going to come into some lunges using light to moderate weights. Here we're going to do 20 sets on each side, alternating sides. At this point in the practice, you'll notice that you're pretty well warmed up and that you're breathing more deeply, more powerfully now. Try to keep this intensity going. Next, we're going to do 15 to 20 cable rows. Make sure that your chest is up. Make sure that your shoulder blades are back and down. And try to use a light to moderate weight so that you can do your repetitions at a slightly faster speed now. Next, we'll come into 20 barbell squats using moderate weights. This exercise is optional if you don't feel comfortable yet doing a barbell squat or still working on your posture and stability. Go ahead and do some lunges here instead, 20 lunges. From here, we're going to do 20 reps on the shoulder press machine. Make sure to pick a moderate level of weights so that you can keep a moderate level of intensity, about 70% of your max. From here, we're going to start picking up the intensity a little bit. We're going to do 1 minute of jump roping. If you don't have access to a jump rope, you can jump in place or do jumping jacks. Next, we're going to do 20 shoulder shrugs. Make sure to use a moderate level of weights and keep a strong, firm posture. Next, we'll do the ice skater exercise from anywhere from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. If this exercise is too much for you, you can do jumping jacks or jump rope again. As we reach the end of our practice, we're going to do 20 stability ball dumbbell presses. Slow your pace down here a little bit and feel a lot of work happening in the core. We'll end this practice by doing about 20 minutes on the bike or treadmill at about 70% intensity, after which we're going to take a couple of minutes to just cool down the body, go at a slow pace, and we'll be finished with this practice. Thank you guys for having me here today. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you all. I hope that what I shared could be beneficial to you or somebody that you know. Either way, it was an absolute blessing to be here for this chapter of your wellness journey. I wish you the best. Keep growing, keep learning. And if you feel like you want to reach out, if you have any questions or would like to learn more about my other services, including yoga, meditation, breath work, and bodywork therapy, feel free to reach out. I've given David my bodywork therapy flyer to share with you all. It has all my contact information on it. I look forward to hearing from you all. I wish you all the best. And until next time, many blessings.